Hi guys, what's up? My name is Diana. If you guys are new here, and if you're not new, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a very special video actually. I wanted to talk about a very common problem that a lot of people have, that I actually myself had for, I want to say, over a year. So I moved to LA from Seattle, and when I moved to LA, maybe 2 or so months into living here, I started getting spots all over my body. Okay, first, before we get started on this video, I do want to say I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist. I wish I was, that'd be cool. I'm not a practitioner of health. I have no knowledge of any of that. The things that I'm sharing are based on my personal experience with my dermatologist, and everything that I do share are things that she has told me and things that have worked for me. So just a little warning. Not necessarily all over, but just like all over my upper body. So it first started as just like this little white discoloration on my tummy, and then eventually it grew into this huge ginormous spot, and then eventually I started noticing that they were getting everywhere. I didn't pay attention to it whatsoever at first because it was pretty small. There were just a few tiny little spots, and I just thought that it was just maybe too much sun, or I don't know. I didn't really pay any attention because it was not bothering me, and I don't know, I just guess I didn't pay attention to it. Eventually it grew to be just impossible to overlook. So this skin problem that I had is called Tinea Versicolor, and it's a very common fungal infection that people get. And basically, I'm gonna read the definition to you. So Tinea Versicolor is a common fungal infection that causes a small discolored patches of skin. Tinea Versicolor is caused by an overgrowth of yeast on the skin. It most often affects teens and young adults. The condition is not contagious. So the symptoms include patches of skin that are lighter or darker than the surrounding skin, often affecting your trunk and shoulders. The treatments are antifungal creams, lotions, shampoos, and it typically lasts for a few weeks or months. Mine lasted a really long time, partially because it took me a while to actually go seek help for it. So I have a ton of photos that I'm going to just plop over. But anyways, like I mentioned, it started off as this little white spot, and then it just started spreading. It was covering my entire stomach, and then it started covering my shoulders and my arms. It didn't itch, it didn't bother me, but there were some instances where it actually got very irritated. They would turn red, very red and inflamed. That really scared me. I wasn't sure what was happening, and like I mentioned at the beginning, it just didn't really bother me. But eventually, as it started spreading more and more, I started getting extremely insecure about it. I felt that every time I would walk by in a bikini at the beach, everybody would just stare at my stomach, and it was just very it was just a struggle. I was very emotional about it. I kept, my mom would keep telling me to go to the doctor, get it checked out, and I kept telling myself and her that it was just gonna go away on its own. There was nothing serious about it, because I didn't want to believe it was serious. And it's not necessarily serious, but it does need medical help. So I ended up going to a holistic little store. I wanted to see if I could just get away with maybe taking some droplets or whatever. They told me exactly what it was. She told me that it was Tinea Versicolor, and she gave me these Tinea Versicolor droplets, and then she told me to stay away from sugar and processed foods, and to put cod oil all over my spots. So I took the droplets for I want to say over a month, like almost 2 months. And she even told me to stay away from like natural sugars, meaning fruits and all of that. And that was very, very hard for me. I think that I kind of started monitoring my sugar, but I've always kind of monitored my sugar. I've never gone overboard with my sugar. And I didn't really think that sugar was the issue. And we did buy these cod capsules and we applied them on my skin, but it was terrible. It made my skin smell like fish, obviously, because it was cod capsules. I could not sleep at night. Like I would put it on at night and then I would put on like a baggy shirt so it doesn't get on the bed, but I couldn't sleep because you could smell it and it was just irritating the crap out of me. So gave up that, and I didn't, after almost like 2 months of taking those droplets, I didn't see any differences whatsoever. So finally I decided to go to a dermatologist. I went to a dermatologist here in Santa Monica. I think the name of the clinic is like Dr. Ava MD or whatever. And they knew immediately as well what it was, Tinea Versicolor. They gave me a few things to try out. So first off, we started off with the Ketoconazole Shampoo. And this is not over the counter. You do have to go in and get this. So you apply this in the shower all over your, like where the spots are, and you have it sit on your skin for like five plus minutes. And then I also had this Ketoconazole Cream, which also not over the counter, like they have to give it to me. And this is my second tube. So I did go through the first one. No, this is my third tube. I went through two full tubes and like half of this one before it finally went away. So I would take a shower every day and I would apply the shampoo, and then after the shower I would rub this all over my skin, like where the spots were, and I would apply it generously, and I would do it 2 to 3 times a day. And I did this religiously for, I want to say like 2+ months, and then 2+ months. I don't know why that sounded weird, but anyways, they went away, and I'm so grateful that they went away, because it was very, very hard, like on my confidence, to walk around with these spots all over my skin. I just didn't feel like myself, because I did just feel like everybody was staring at me every time I was walking by in a crop top, a bikini, whatever. And they also just, I don't know, whenever I would take a picture or something like that, I just didn't like it. And it was hard, but I'm so grateful that I was able to get them off. I don't have any spots now. They're like little minor ones, like I see like on my arm sometimes or something, but so far there hasn't been anything. So basically what my dermatologist said is that it happened because of like an overgrowth of yeast, and that typically happens if like you work out a lot and you're wearing sweaty clothing, or your clothing is too tight, or you know, like for instance, you live in a hot area or whatever. And also something that I was doing very frequently was I was going to hot yoga. I was doing hot yoga literally every single week, and it was a 90-minute class, and I had to stop doing that during like my treatment time, and I think that really helped as well. So I wanted to make this video because if any of you have this, or if any of you struggle with this, or if any of you do have something similar to this, I want to say, like, hey, it can be cured. You can treat it. You do have to go to a dermatologist. You have to go to, you know, your practitioner, whoever you go to, whichever doctor you have, talk to them about it and try your absolute best to like follow a routine in terms of the cream, the shampoo, and all of that, and it'll be cured. So that's that. I will show like before and after photos. I think that the transformation is pretty major. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Anyways, I hope you guys got something out of it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Día que me falte tu piel, ¿qué será? ¿Qué será?
parte de mi amanecer. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será de mí? Y por todo yo brindo, desde lo feo hasta lo lindo. Tú eres una prueba que el mundo a mí nunca me brindó. Quería casarme, yo tan loco en ilusionarme, creyendo en tus besos y tus caricias. La verdad no fue el culpable.